Alright, so there are a plethora of fascinating characters in the Tekken universe, many we haven't seen in a long time. However, there is an underrated character in Tekken lore that would make a pretty interesting addition to the roster, even if technically he wasn't actually canon.
Tekken 8! New Challenger!
Okay, so I recently touched on adding 8's, a non-canon character in Mortal Kombat history, to the franchise, and it got me thinking, who would be an excellent character to place into the Tekken universe that isn't exactly a part of the story already? And the answer lies in the Tekken movie Blood Vengeance, and it honestly hit me pretty fast. By the way, before I get started, like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell on the video. Greatly appreciate it. In the movie Tekken Blood Vengeance, both G Corporation and the Mishima Zaibatsu are looking to find SHIN KAMIYA, a former Mishima High student. He was the sole survivor out of a group of test subjects for what is known as the M Cell. Supposedly this power is some sort of key to immortality for the Mishimas. Long story short, because a full synopsis of the movie is not important here, in Heihachi's grand scheme, he kidnaps Shin, uses him to lure both Kazuya and his best friend Jin, and ultimately snaps his back, thus removing the M Cell from him, getting rid of his immortality by the way, and it kills him. Very unfortunate.
I've had enough of you, 78 men. It's time for you to kill me!
The crime in his story is that the M Cell could have been a nice deviation going forward from the Devil Gene and the Tekken story that's currently hyper-focused on the Mishima saga, with no real end in sight. Shin and the experiments of the Mishima Polytechnic School could have had a lot of potential. Even if we're being honest, his story is extremely similar to that of Steve Fox, but who knows, maybe at this point there could be a tie-in between Shin and Reina. Or maybe the M Cell could have had more importance to the Tekken monks, if any of them are still alive at this point. Who knows, they could do anything with him and he could fit into the games like a glove at this point. What's interesting about Shin is that he was actually supposed to be included in Tekken's base roster on more than one occasion. Or maybe not the base roster, but you know what I mean. The original idea for his inclusion in Tekken Blood Vengeance was to add him either to Tekken 6 or Tekken Tag 2 later on. However, Harada has always been against this. He was also added to a poll for a guest character in Tekken Revolution, but he came in third place. Instead, Vampire Lady got in. Fantastic. It's kinda disappointing that he wasn't added to Tekken 7 at any point in time, but there's still a chance for Tekken 8. A playable Shin could be interesting. Because of the high school he attended, it wouldn't be out of the realm of possibility to have some variant of the Mishima fighting style. However, let's be honest, there's enough characters in the game that have that fighting style already. He wouldn't completely need the style because of course he's not a Mishima, but just something close to it. Or because he's friends with Jin, maybe a fighting style that's in the vein of karate wouldn't be bad either. It wouldn't necessarily have to be Kazuma style karate, but something close to it. Maybe add some kickboxing sort of attacks or something similar to like Lee Chaolan. Or to, who knows, to give him more of a brawler style, just add a few elements of like Brian in there. I'm sure that'll make players happy. But my mind really says something close to karate with elements of more of a street fighter in there. And being honest, you could even add some attacks in his moveset that uses use of the M Cell. Another thing that I'm sure wouldn't annoy players going forward. But in all seriousness, a lot could be done with him. His look wouldn't even have to change that much at all either. He simply would just need an attire outside of his Mishima Polytechnic clothes. Maybe something that would fit a character that stands for truth, which is the meaning of his name by the way. Or just normal street clothes. Hell, maybe you could give him an outfit of what he looked like as a test subject. There's many things to play with here. At the time that I'm recording this video, there is an online revolt taking place against Tekken 8, kinda for good reason. I've never seen so many people playing Tekken 7 and 6 online in one period of time in my life as I currently am. But gameplay issues aside, I wouldn't mind seeing Shin return or debut, depending on how you look at it, in a future season of DLC for the game. He could easily take the spot of a guest character in the game if there were no plans to make him a permanent member of the roster. I think this would be a mistake, but that's still a better use of him without adding so many outside characters that I'm convinced are not adding new players to any of these fighting game franchises. But that's just me. Does the idea of adding a character from Blood Vengeance to Tekken's playable roster seem like a good idea to you? Let me know in the comments. Like I said before, like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell if you haven't already. YouTube is not going to show my videos to you right now otherwise, so please make sure that you do. And you all have a good one, and I'm out.